Good morning, Vinyl Champions. Happy Saturday. It's early. It's cold. It's not that it's cold outside. It's just like it's colder. It's cooler. And I got here before the rain came, but we're expecting rain. And yesterday was fantastic with the weather. And so there you go. Good morning. How are you? Hope you're doing incredibly well. I hope it's my desire that everybody's safe and sound and fully stocked with supplies and things like that. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. And so I'm looking forward to a wonderful day today. I'll be in Raleigh for a little while, and I'll sneak up to Wake Forest. We will be open. We will be doing virtual shopping. We'll be throwing stuff up online. We will be dealing with the pollen outside. Pardon me. And we're just making it happen. And will cabin fever get people out of the house? Well, hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, Happy Hippie. How are you? Thanks for coming by. Also wanted to talk a little about remembering Kenny Rogers. I understand he left us last night. And so let's talk about his records a little bit. Let's talk about that. Good. Glad you're doing well. So Kenny Rogers sold millions of records. Kenny Rogers was not a big seller here. If I got some first edition, that would sell. If I got anything he did with Dolly Pardon, that would sell. But Kenny just wasn't a big seller. So will that change? I don't know. He did a lot of songs, did a lot of records. This is a first edition record. And going to yard sales as a child, well, not a child, but as a kid, teenager and young adult, and would find a lot of Kenny Rogers and had heard some of the songs on the radio. Would see some stuff on compilations and would just pick up Kenny Rogers. It was a gambler, you know. He was the cool cat with the guns on his side and standing up against there with a long, tall poster. He was the gambler. He was Kenny Rogers. But this is the first edition, and it's entitled Second. Now, first edition was a little more pop, a little more rock than Kenny Rogers, and every once in a while there's a slight, very slight, very thin little sprinkle of psych in there, but for the most part it was just pop, good music. So that was first edition. I actually think I got a silver, the one with the silver cover. I think I have that over there. Well, there's actually, I think there was two silver covers. One was yeah. Here's one with a silver cover. Hey Jerry, how are you this morning? My mom liked him, so as a teenager, I could not. If mom did, could not be cool. Yeah. This is a little embossed. And this is it says Kenny Rogers and the first edition greatest hits. Okay. I think about Oh Ruby, don't take your love away from town. Yeah. Ruby, don't take your love to town. Yeah, that's what it was. And there was another one, another Kenny Rogers, another first edition. So I guess they were like a lot of groups. They started out with first edition, kind of like the Supremes, and then it was Diana Ross and Supremes. So it's started with the first edition, then Kenny Rogers in the first. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in that means in any way. So just showing you guys some stuff we have here. And there's another silver cover that I pretty much think I have. by First Edition. So this is a First Edition also. This is a white label promo. And let's take a look at it together. You grew up listening to Kenny Rogers, absolutely. So this one says Kenny Rogers in the First Edition. Something's burning. I've heard that song. Something's burning, and it must be love, 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 love. I just came in to see what condition my condition was in. There you go, Tom. I'm looking for Kenny Rogers. I'm looking for First Edition songs. And that was one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning, Tom. I trust you're doing well. It's my desire you found out what your condition is all about. So yeah, there we go. Something's burning. This one says 11/10/71 from Van. So apparently Van gave somebody this record. Yeah. Tom, Jerry, if you guys would like the link of it. Dangerous Dan T, good morning. As well as Hippie, as well as Dan. I'll be glad to give you guys a link and we can come in and talk about Kenny Rogers. We can talk about First Edition, but he was in a band called First Edition. Trying to see if I got any more First Edition records. Does anybody know the title of the first Kenny Rogers solo record? Here's another. This one says Kenny Rogers in the First Edition. I like the graphic on here. I think that's pretty cool. Trying to see if there was a song title that I recognize. But I'm going to spin these today. I'm going to get familiar with these. And it might be my first attempt at listing a pre-owned record on eBay. Yeah. So we've got the Kenny Rogers right there. It's titled What About Me? What About Me? No, that's a different song. Yeah. So I'm just going through I went and pulled my Kenny Rogers First Edition. Kenny Rogers in the First Edition from the bins. And so I'm just flipping through here and trying to see if I can throw them in order. So does anybody, I love Islands. Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. My favorite Kenny Rogers songs were The Gambler, Lady, and Love Will Turn You Around. Love will turn you around. I'm going to sneak over here and open up another web browser, excuse me, window, and I'm going to see if I can see what Kenny Rogers' first solo record was and see if we can talk about that a little bit. And I haven't even opened up a pop-up chat, so I better get busy with that. And I think several weeks ago we were talking a little bit about Kenny Rogers, and someone mentioned something about something. Then I said, "Oh yeah, there was a Kenny Rogers. There was a Kenny Rogers chicken place." Yeah. Oh, good news, folks! I have his first solo record. I love Islands in the Stream with Dolly. And if I'm not mistaken, was that a Bee Gees song or a Barry Gibb song? I think the Bee Gees were involved in that song, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't so early, Richard Dolan and Jill J.D. Thompson would be here, and they would tell me all about that stuff. Yeah, so yeah. I have an album called Kenny Rogers and Dolly West Classics. I think I have that, and I think I'm going to be showing that in just a second. But first, I got to get my little pop-up chat going on. Pop-up chat going on. Pop-up chat going on. Yeah, my channel, please. Nothing like being prepared. Here I am. I got to hit the pause button quickly. Pause, 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 so we won't hear no echo. That'd be a good song, Echoes in Heaven. Make a note of that, Jerry. Let's write that song together. Can we do that? Here we go. I think I'm back on track. That is a great song, Tom. And yes, Barry Gibb wrote Islands in the Stream. And pretty sure I've heard the Bee Gees cover it. Pardon me, folks. Not only is it early morning, but it's also pollen season here in North Carolina. And cars, sidewalks, everything's just covered with that beautiful pollen. And so there you go. Good morning. Good morning. I'm drinking coffee out of my King Crimson. He had a lot of them, but wasn't you, Jerry, that said that we talked about the Kenny Rogers restaurant? I think it was chicken. Okay, so I think I got all the first edition records shown, and I think I have. Oh yeah, here's his first solo record. So this was the record. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first Roosters. Oh, that would be a great name for a morning breakfast restaurant now. Roosters. He will be missed. He didn't write very much music, but he chose the songs that he thought would be very well liked. So this is Kenny's first solo record, Love Lifted Me. Yeah, Love Lifted Me. See if I see anything on here that I recognize as far as credits. Background vocals of Jordan Ayers, still guitar Pete Drake. So Pete not only played on Bob Dylan, he also played on Kenny Rogers. From Bob Dylan to Kenny Rogers, Pete Drake played that steel guitar. It's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah, Love Lifted Me, and then there's a medley: Abraham, Martin, and John. Precious Memories. I think that's a Jesus song. I Like to See You Again. And then he does a song, Runaway Girl, from a motion picture soundtrack, motion picture called Trackdown. And then maybe Heavenly Sunshine is a song that I've heard before, maybe in church. Yeah. Excuse me. And there's even a quote on here from Billboard. So that's kind of interesting to see that. And it looks like Kenny's hanging out in the studio with some people wearing white. I have no idea who that is. All right, let's see what else is going on. I don't know what came after that. Let's see if I have it. I got the discography pulled up right here. Love Lifted Me. And then there's one called Kenny Rogers. Oh, I think I have that one. Nothing like being prepared, huh? So this was his next record. This was released in January '77. Yeah, Kenny Rogers. Good morning, Victor. How are you? Just heard the news, so bummed. Yeah. What's some of your favorite songs, Victor, that you enjoyed, or records by Victor? How's your mom doing, Victor? Victor's mother lives on an exotic island, and I hope she's doing really well from CV. Lady, Jerry shared that also. You're the sun, dun, 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 and I love you. Let's see if I got the next song. Next record, that is. Oh, don't forget. I'll talk about that when I come over there. Okay, there we go. Let's see what the next song is. She's good. She's going to be bummed with Kenny. She loved him. Oh, my stars. And if you were like a lot of us, we heard Kenny Rogers from when our parents played them. Yeah. His next record was Daytime Friends and Nighttime Lovers, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. I don't have a copy of that on my hands right now, but I may have it in Wake Forest. Hey, good morning, James Byers. Did you guys? Hey, oh, yes, indeed. Rest in peace, Kenny. Yeah. Oh. Yep, Kenny and Willie. Oh, Willie, yeah, absolutely. We can talk Willie, can't we, Tom? So the next record was, I always thought this was a greatest hits record, but according to Wikipedia, which I go to a lot for discographies, this next record was 10 Years of Gold. How interesting. I always thought this was a greatest hits record. 10 Years of Gold. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take the banner off. Yeah. Love My Willie. Yeah. You know, Tom, if it wasn't for you getting that record on one of my YouTube cells, I probably wouldn't have heard that Tammy Wynette record. And it is so good, despite the fact that I hear some bacon. That is a wonderful record. I love listening to her. I'm going to have to discover Tammy now. 10 Years of Gold, Kenny Rogers. One song on here I recognize. Well, it's Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Something's burning. Something's burning. Lucille, you picked a fine time to leave me. Lucille. Yeah, Lucille is on here. Yeah. James, if you like to join me, just say the word and I'll get you a link. We're talking about Kenny Rogers today, folks. Remembering Kenny Rogers. Oh, the next record he does, I think it's a collaboration. Let's take a look. It's called Every Time Two Fools Collide. Let's see what I can read real quick. Apparently he stayed with Larry Butler for a long time. Yeah. Oh, on this record, he does a song by that's written by Tammy Wynette. It's called That's the Way It Could Have Been. And he also does the song by David Gates, which was Bread, Baby, I'm a Want Ya. And there's a Chris Christopherson song. You like the Jordanaires there on here. Kenny Rogers and Dottie West. Man. Look at that chandelier. Now make sure you get a shitting good right here with the chandelier. And yeah. Look at that crazy room, folks. The carpeting, the wallpaper, the drapes. Curtains, the drapes. Crazy. You picked a fine time. One of the first songs I learned to play on the guitar. Very cool. Yeah. Love My Willie. Can't wait to hear it. It's going out today, Tom. We've been having postal services. They're going to continue providing service, but they didn't provide service today. I only know the Jordanaires for their stuff with Elvis. Yes, and they also had some solo records, the Jordanaires. And I think they were ready to sing for anybody. They could sing with James Byers and the B-Cats. Yeah. So yeah. But there we go. Kenny Rogers and Dolly West. Now, did they have a popular song? Did they have a song that was well known, just the two of them? Yeah. Or maybe they just sang every song together. I'll find out later today. Let's see if I can figure out the next song by Kenny. I mean, the next record by Kenny. It's called Classics. Well, darn. He stayed with Dottie West. Were they an item? I have nothing. I know nothing about them. Pete Drake is back here on this record, and he's got a whole list of crazy. He's got a crazy long list of musicians. Now, Dottie West, excuse me, not only plays guitar but she sings. Yeah. Okay, let's get back over here to Kenny Rogers and Dolly West. I'm going to show you the record. Baby, I'm a want ya. Baby, I'm a need ya. That's not him. Oh, here it is. Kenny Rogers and Dottie West. Let's see if I recognize any of the songs on here. I don't know. I think there was a time that not only was this getting played on country radio, but it was getting played. Kenny Rogers as a whole was getting played on country radio, and he was getting played on pop radio. He wasn't getting played on the hard rock channels, though. And let's see what came next after that, according to my Wikipedia. The Kenny Rogers singles. The Kenny Rogers singles album. So who started that? Who started that cool beard first? Was it Kenny Rogers or Barry Gibb? I don't have the next record, but it's Kenny Rogers singles album, which I think is probably best of it. And I may have it in Wake Forest. I just don't know. Tom says, "Oh, never mind." Say it again, Tom. All right, let's see what's next for Kenny. This one. This came next for Kenny. There you go. It's got You Decorated My Life. Oh, this one looks interesting. Tulsa Turnaround. Santiago Mountain Moonlight. Old folks. Coward of the County. Dum, dum. The Coward of the County. Yeah. Apparently he worked really well with Larry Butler. I'm going to have to learn a little more about Larry Butler myself. Yeah, there's saxophone on here. Pearl provided the drums. You decorated my life. Now, this looks like a dressing room, backstage or something. And look at all the stuff on the table. I see a blow dryer. Looks like some type of shaving cream. Vaseline. There's a phone. Yeah. I love those lights around there. Yeah. Well, there you go, Kenny. All right, let's see what's next for Kenny. Gideon's Ladder. Oh, Kim Carnes was on here. Who co-wrote the entire album with her husband. Wait a minute. Kim Carnes wrote a record for Kenny Rogers. And here it is. Oh, I like the back cover. Folks, does this remind you of any other record that we've seen before in your life? Does that remind you of Bob Dylan? Or is it just me? All right, let's take a look at this. This is Gideon. Don't fall in love with a dreamer. I think that was one of her songs. It says, Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer, duet sung with Kim Carnes. Yeah. All songs composed by Kim Carnes and her husband, David Ellenson. How about that? The things you learn in these morning chats, folks. Wow, that is awesome. So don't fall in love with a drummer. Don't fall in love with a dreamer. That's got to be a cash cow for Kim Carnes. That is awesome. All right, let's see what came next in the discography of Kenny Rogers. Chris Propel just posted a video, and he's talking about Dred Zeppelin. I love it when people discover. He may have already been familiar with, but I love it when people discover Dred Zeppelin. Okay, then there was a Kenny Rogers greatest hits, and according to Wikipedia, it had 2 different covers, one for the United States and one for the U and the K. Yeah. Let's see if I have that record. I do not have that one, but it's got it has Lady on here. I didn't realize that. I'm familiar with the Lady. I didn't realize. Well, I knew that it was a Lionel Richie song. I wasn't familiar that Kenny covered that song also. Dreamer. What can I say? All right, his next studio record was Share Your Love. I think I have that one right here. You know, a lot of times people walk in, do you have so-and-so? I might have 1 or 2 records, or I might not have any. I might have 1. And they're like, do you have any so-and-so? And if someone will walk in yesterday and say, do you have any Kenny Rogers? Like, I have almost the entire discography, folks, if that tells you anything. Okay, here we go. Kenny Rogers, Share Your Love. Let's see what we can read about this one. I haven't seen Kenny set from... Oh, if you haven't, it's worth checking out. Oh, well, this one's still in shrink, and it's got a hype sticker. I Don't Need You, featuring the singles I Don't Need You, Blaze of Glory, Through the Years. Yeah. Oh, there's Kenny with Lionel. So who was sporting the coolest hair then? I kind of vote for Lionel. Lionel's got the mustache. Kenny's got the beard. Let's see. I don't see Lady on this record, so... Oh, it was produced by Lionel Richie. The things you learn. It was produced by Lionel Richie. And it says production assistant Brenda Harvey Richie, which is most likely someone related to him. Now, did Lionel sing on here? Did Lionel write some music on here? Jerry's coming up with something. Was also in USA for Africa, We Are the World. Oh, he was. I might have that 7-inch single picture sleeve here. So Lionel, Michael Jackson's on this record, folks. Michael Jackson is on this record. Did you? Just think every time someone comes in, you got any Michael Jackson? Yes, I do. Where? He's on here. I did not know that. Oh. Gladys Knight is on here. Wow. Terry Williams, didn't he do some production for some 80s pop R&B? Special thanks, Kenny says, a very special thanks to my dear friends, Michael Jackson and Gladys Knight and the Pips, for lending their voices and support to this album. Wow. This is so cool. Thomas F. McClary, which was on... Ray Parker Jr. is on this record? I am like a kid. I'm learning stuff. This is what music's all about, learning and sharing and enjoying. Ray Parker Jr., Sonny Burke, I don't know him, but Sylvester's on here? Oh, folks, I can't wait to hear this. Is this the long, little soul record I never heard? And Daryl Jones is on here? Wow. Well, guess what I'm going to be playing it when I get off YouTube? I would play it now. So the record is Share Your Love. Okay, everybody, make it a challenge. Find this on YouTube and listen to it. See if we can hear yee from Michael on here. I can't wait to hear it. Let's see. I hope the record's in beautiful condition. I got a feeling if Jerry Stones comes, he's going to end up picking up a Lionel Richie, a Kenny Rogers record or 2. There you go. So I might have to devote one wall, and I might have to blog it. I feel like I'm doing all this cool stuff. Cool to me. I've been doing all this stuff I normally do, and blogging and posting and stuff like that for everyone to see online. And if they venture out, they get to see it in person. Okay, let's see what's going on next with Kenny Rogers. Kenny, what was your next record? He had a Christmas record, and this was a Christmas record which I might have in the back in the holiday section. But it's Kenny Rogers Christmas, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to go check there and see if I have it. He's doing some traditional stuff. I don't think Dolly's on here. Let's double check. I wish I could share the screen, but my computer's too old for this cool things to happen. In some quarters, including the UK and the United States, the title changed to Christmas Wishes, and the album reissued in '85 with an alternate track list. In other countries, the Christmas is still the title. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's take a look around. Wow. All right, so the next one is Love Will Turn You Around. Love will turn you around. I'll check and see if I have it, Jerry, or you're welcome to dig. That's one that typically sells. Love will turn you around. I got it. There we go. Love will turn you around. This one has Shrink, and it's got the hype sticker. It says, contains a theme song, Love Will Turn You Around, from the movie Six Pack. Six Pack. He loved his bit part in Reno 911. Oh, really? Yeah. Let's see what's on here. He totally. Oh, Mike Post. We know that name from some of the TV shows. Da da da. See if there's anything else on here I could recognize. Shows Kenny with a guitar. I don't think I've ever seen any Kenny Rogers playing live shows or anything like that. But there you go. Love will turn you around. J.D. Souther. There's a J.D. Souther song on here. There's a Lee Greenwood song. There's a David Loggins song on here. See if I recognize any of the players. Don Henley is on here, folks. Don Henley sings on this record. Don Henley. Oh, my stars. Well, I could definitely put an attribute on here, and I can put Don Henley Eagles, and I can put this in the Eagles section. There you go. Wow. I love this bit in Reno 911. I think that was a TV show, wasn't it? Reno 911. I think I got or have the DVD of that, DVD, Blu-ray. I also have the single Love Will Turn You Around on a 45. It's a 45. Great song. All right, let's see what came next for Kenny. Let's see if we get to the point now where Kenny takes his beard, he cuts it really short. Not as short as mine. We Got Tonight. That's Lionel Richie. David Foster. We Got the Night. Who Needs Tomorrow? That was a duet with Shenna Eason. Let's see if I have that right here. We Got the Night. I got it. I got the night. I got the night. I got the streamlight, baby. I got the night. Hey, good morning, Alan C. Records. How are you? I was just listening to the first edition, second album, mostly pop type of music. Rest in peace, Kenny. Yeah, Alan. We're just talking about Kenny. I grabbed all the records here from TheRecordKrate in Raleigh and just going through the discography. I'm not sure what I have in Wake Forest, and I'm not sure what I have in Selma, but yeah. Okay, so so this has a song on here, a duet with Shenna Eason, the title cut. We Got Tonight. Performed by Kenny Rogers and Shenna Eason. Very cool. Lionel Richie was one of the producers, as well as David Foster. See if there's anything else on here. We're discovering all sorts of things, Alan. I had no idea that Michael Jackson was on a Kenny Rogers record. Mastered by Doug Sack. I like his master, and he's got a very neutral ear, and it sounds good. In other words, he's not like, he can't. So like I think of Bob Ludwig, Robert Ludwig. I think of him as not being able to hear a bass. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can see anything on the Wikipedia page about this record. It says the title of this album comes from his signature track. I'm sorry, the title of this album comes from its signature track written by Bob Seger and originally on his album Stranger in Town. Wow. I did not know that. Oh, here's another one. You Are So Beautiful is a Billy Preston song. How long? So apparently How Long on here was written by Lionel Richie. Wow, we got Tonight. And then there you go. This is so interesting. If only I had taken the time years ago and gone through Kenny Rogers' discography, gone through his Wikipedia pages and looked at every one of his records, I would have been better educated. And I may have been able to sell more of his records. Okay, so the next one from Kenny Rogers' release was Eyes That See in the Dark. This was his next record, Eyes That See in the Dark. I also have his duets with all the female. Oh, that's a good record. I mean, that's a good compilation. It is, Jerry. I know you like Bob. I never put two and two together, so that's totally awesome. So let's take a look and see Eyes That Have Seen in the Dark. See if we learn anything here. Oh my gosh. Eyes That See in the Dark marks Barry Gibb's third production project in the 80s outside of the Bee Gees. Gibb wrote most of the songs that were more reminiscent of Rogers' days with First Edition. Why isn't J.D. Thompson here? Come on, girl, wake up. Wow, this is awesome. Islands in the Stream is on here. Was it always a duet with Dolly, or did he sing that alone? Yeah. Apparently, Rogers asked Barry Gibb for some songs. Hey, Barry, just throw me some songs over here so I could be as popular as you and make tons of money for us both. Wow. This is so interesting. Islands of the Stream is the duet with Dolly, and it's on here. Well, darn, I could have had this record for all the people who come in and say, you got any Dolly? So Maurice Gibb also contributed some songwriting. Oh my gosh. All tracks are written by Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb, except where noted. So that is the B and the G's. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Barry was a hit maker. He's a hit maker, hit maker. He's a hit maker. Wow. The song I Will Always Love You featured on this album was written by Barry and Maurice Gibb. It's not the same as the Dolly Parton song, which was written, but Kenny would record that song later for his 1996 album, Vote for Love. Yeah, that is awesome. Let's see who the players are. So Barry plays on here, Maurice plays on here, lots and lots and lots of people. Dolly sings on here, and Robin sings on here also. Larry Gatlin, Rudy Gatlin, Steve Gatlin. Does that make up all the brothers? Wow, this is awesome, folks. I am learning so much. Jerry says, Kenny was also an actor. Do you have any stuff on DVD or music DVD by chance? I don't know. I don't know. I know that wasn't Gambler like was that an extended music video? And Tom said he was in, what did Tom say? Reno 911? Yeah, so I don't know, Jerry. I might. Yeah, okay, let's see what's next for Kenny. What About Me? What About Me? Which is right here, folks. Right there on my easel. Right there. What About Me? The Gambler is a TV movie. Okay. I figured there was something. What About Me? Let's see if I can. Wikipedia tells me about What About Me. What About Me is sung in trio with James Ingram. And Kim Carnes. But check this out. So I knew that Kenny was in New Christy Minstrels, but it also said that Kim Carnes was in New Christy Minstrels. I have no idea. Let's take a look here and see what's going on. Richard Marx contributed as a songwriter with What About Me? I don't recall that song. Dolly wrote a song called The Stranger. Let's see. Danny Huff, I've seen that name before. He plays guitar on here. Shelia E. Shelia E plays percussion on this record, folks. And of course, Kim Carnes and James Ingram sings on here. Richard Marx sings. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. The Gambler is a TV movie. And then Tom says, going back to bed, see you soon. I haven't run across that record yet, but I'll let you know if I do, Tom. Tom, take care. I'll see you soon. Oh, okay. So the next one was 1984, and it's Once Upon a Christmas. And this is the one with Kenny and Dolly on the cover. It has a wreath, and it has a deer. And looks like Kenny's really hugging Dolly. I wonder what statement Dolly's going to make today, not only with interviews, but maybe she'll do a little blog or something. The entire record is Kenny and Dolly, and that's the one that sells whenever I get it. It can sell in July, it can sell in March, it can sell in September. Yeah. This is who played on this. David Foster. And I'm seeing names, performers, so maybe there's some of Kenny's musicians that he worked with. Yeah. All right. This is awesome. Let's see what's next. And I doubt it, but I might have some Kenny Rogers back there in the what's it called? Yeah. Okay. So there is a record called Duets. Alan C. mentioned this. So 1984, there was a record called Duets, Kenny Rogers album. And on the cover, it has a photograph of Kim Carnes, Shenna Eason, and Dolly West. Yeah. There's one song on here that was co-written by Tammy Wynette. And so, yeah. This is a little bit of a greatest hits, per se, with Kenny and some of the people that he did duets with. All right. I am learning so much, folks. That's the one. That's right, Alan. Yeah, I've had that before. It sells, and I think it sells just because it's not the traditional look at me, I'm Kenny Rogers, and see my beard, that type of cover. Yeah, so it's very interesting. I am learning so much, folks. I appreciate you guys being here and watching me learn, and hopefully of course I'm learning from you, and then hopefully we're learning together. All right, let's see what's next for Kenny. The next one is Kenny, the Kenny Rogers Story. I do not have that one right here. Kenny Rogers Story, 1985. It's like a greatest hits. There we go. And sometimes I use the word greatest hits in the wrong way. Sometimes it's a collection of or a compilation. Yeah. The next one is The Heart of the Matter. I do not have that one, but it was produced by George Martin. So that's pretty interesting. I beat the people here to do hair. How about that? Yeah. I noticed that there's a Moog bass on here. Richard Marx is on here. A lot of people on here. Even says there's trombone, saxophone, flute, French horn, harp. George Martin plays strings on here. I'm sorry, George Martin arranged strings on here. Yeah, this is interesting. He probably said, "Hey, John, Paul, George, Ringo, if you guys aren't going to get back together this year, I'm going to work with Kenny Rogers." And they said, "Okay, work with Kenny Rogers." I like Richard Mark. First time I heard about him was when he was on our breakfast television one morning with Hulk Hogan when I was 10. We have some morning TV shows, and it's kind of like news and entertainment. Maybe that's what you have, or is hey, Gary Dupree, how are you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suspect Kenny was a nice guy. You're probably right. I haven't read any way or another. I've always heard the rumor. I don't know if it was true that Dolly couldn't stand to be around him, but I don't know if that's true. Just somebody, I've heard that a couple of times. And so we have like Good Morning America, and that comes in the morning. Yeah. Hey, Gary, how are you? I'm okay. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. How's your family doing? Hope you're doing well with this crisis. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's next for Kenny Rogers. Love is What We Make It, 1985. I do not have that one. But it's the record with his face on the cover. Wait a minute. All of them have his face on the cover. Let's see. Yeah. 18th record collection of songs between 74 and 83 that were rejected for studio albums. Ooh, I bet that would be interesting to hear. The next one is Short Stories. I do not have that one. That was also 85. Yeah. And the next one is They Don't Make Them Like They Used to. I don't have that one. Brooke Bacharach came involved on this one. So, ooh, that should be very luscious. Michael Bolton contributed some songs. And Jonathan Cain. Jonathan Cain is from Journey. He's probably from somebody else, too. Let's see. I Prefer the Moonlight. I have that one. Okay, 1987, I Prefer the Moonlight. 20th studio album by Kenny Rogers. I Prefer the Moonlight. Let's see what Wikipedia tells us about this. Ronnie Milsap. It contains 3 top 5 hit singles and the title cut and the Grammy Award-winning duo with Ronnie Milsap. And wow, this was the final studio album with RCA. Wow. Goodbye, RCA. Kim Carnes makes, she contributes a song on here, and it's the song with Ronnie Milsap. Gosh, folks, I never knew Kim Carnes did so much stuff outside of that. Ronnie plays on here. Dan Huff plays on here. Who else plays on here? A lot of people that probably are incredible musicians. I just don't recognize the name. Jimmy Capps? How do I know that name? Jimmy Capps. Wow. Shelby Singleton did strings arrangement on here. I had no idea he was a musician, so I learned something new. Kim sings on here. The Nashville String Machine provides strings on here. Juice Newton sings on this record also. And check this out, everybody. Check this out. We have a Beach Boy on here. Dennis Wilson sings on this record. Oh, I'm glad the family's doing well, Gary. That's good to hear. Boy, I miss those early days. I met Gary because he worked at this really cool store that I would go into, and I was during the time that I was buying Atari, but also was able. Gary and I both learned that we liked really cool, crazy things like what do we like? Anything that was cassette tape driven, anything that was electronic. They went beep bop, blue bop, bop, bop. We kind of dug, and then learning that we like synthesizers and or it just goes on and on and on and on. And Gary used to have this really cool website of cool things that he had discovered. And even though he may not have owned them, he always did a little thingy there. So anyway, and plus our love for early Macintosh and Apple computers. Yeah. And then, but Gary went on, started a family. I don't know, what'd you have, like 14 kids? And cool things like that. And so he had some children. And so like a lot of people, things change when we do that. Okay, so there we go. Kenny Rogers. Check him out, sporting that cool trench coat. Yeah, so Beach Boy. Dennis Wilson's on this record. Amazing. Let's see what was next. My favorite Atari games are the ones I've never touched and played. I would love to play Halloween. Of course, I can go online and do an electronic version of that. But the ones that I like to play, there was one with paddles, and it was called Breakout. And maybe that was not paddles, but I like that one a lot. I'm more of a puzzle guy than an RPG or a driving or something like that. But there was also one where 4 people could play. You took 2 sets of paddles, and it had corners. Corner at the top, corner at the bottom. Was that Vanguard? I can't recall. And then, of course, no Vanguard. It wasn't. Maybe anyway. And then there was another games like some of the Imagine games. When the game was over with, it continues having this repeating screen that didn't fade out and stop. It was beautiful. Warlords, and it was just like watching a screensaver. It would last forever. So yeah. Hey, good morning, Arthur. How are you? I hope you were able to watch some of the live stream last night. You said your video, your internet connection, wasn't sure. It's very interesting to listen to the discussion about the albums I've listened to in my younger days when they were brand new. And yes, it does kind of make me feel old. You're not old. You're just seasoned. Yeah. So, and I'm hoping this is going to be good for people later. And I'm hoping to get a lot of comments and discussions about this. Yes. Breakout is a classic. Oh gosh, there you go. Absolutely. And I would love to have one of those stand-up arcades that has a little computer in there, and it has all of the files for the classic video games, not only Atari but Fairchild and Odyssey, Vectrex. Did I get a Vectrex? No, I don't think I got a Vectrex from you, Gary, but we definitely talked about it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stay focused. I want to get off here at 9 o'clock because I still got a lot of work to get done today, and blogging and listing and trying to make it. The next one is actually called Greatest Hits. It's a compilation by Kenny Rogers, 1988. The next one is 1989, and it's called Something Inside So Strong. Did I already do this one? Kenny Rogers, Kenny. Something Inside So Strong. Yeah, and so that was 1989. We don't see that many records pressed in 1989. One of the guys from Sills and Croft is contributed songwriting. Troy Sills. Let's see who played on here. Yeah, and Gary, just think, Gladys Knight's on here. Ricky Skaggs. Gary, just think if I was into vinyl in the fact that I would buy vinyl for myself, but Hal did have a Vectrex. Hello, Michael, how are you? Oh, Ruby. That's so good, yeah. There you go. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I just like to have the experience of having it right here in the shop, and you just play for free. And then I'll be like, get out of here, or something like that. Well, the video is still up, Arthur, and if there's anything there that strikes your fancy, please reach out. I didn't run across this one in the discography when I was going through Wikipedia, but this one is entitled Kenny. I'm going to read a little bit about it. I really like the format sometimes of Wikipedia when they have records, and it's really cool. Yeah. But just think of all the cool records that probably went through your hands or potentially went through your hands, Gary, when you were at the store. So there's an ARP on here. An ARP, I know that Gary has or had an ARP. Or did I look at this and forgot to put it down? Anyway, that's the last one I have in my possession, folks. I might have some stuff in compilations, and I might have some stuff in the Christmas, and there my... Yeah, Kenny died last night. Are you saying you're a druggie? What's that icon on there? What's your avatar? Yeah, let's see if there's anybody here. Gary's joining me from Facebook. Thanks for doing that, Gary. Oh, so I'm sorry, I didn't notice that, folks, but Gary Dupree is joining me from Facebook, and I don't think they show up on the YouTube comments. And so Gary is the guy that I was talking about. We were talking about where he used to work at this really cool store, and I ended up getting a lot of cool things then. And Gary, when I go to cool stores now, I don't even... It might be his mugshot, but I don't think that the police or the law enforcement put text on top of it. So yeah, I can see that it's his mugshot, but there's some text there I just can't fully read. Take care, James. Good to see you. I hope the postman stops by today. He will. If he doesn't, I'll just head over to the post office on my way to Wake Forest. Yeah. So and when I look at the Wikipedia page, Kenny kept on releasing records. Christmas in America is one I don't have. I've never seen that. We're probably getting into the CD world now. Rogers, Love is Strange, Back Home Again. If I Only Had a Voice, Timepiece, and yeah, I probably have some CDs. I didn't go back there and look at them before I got here. I just before I got online, I just got here and I went and grabbed some stuff. And so there's, you can go visit the Wikipedia page. He was a close buddy of Tricky Dicky. And you can go read about Kenny. You can spend a lot of time on YouTube. You can stop by your favorite record shop and pick up some pre-owned Kenny. You can also, anything I've shown today is available for sale. If there's anything you'd like to order, I'll be glad to ship it to you and things like that. But just want to say thanks for the tunes, Kenny. And thanks for everybody who collaborated with Kenny and everybody who played on his records. And I've learned so much, from the Beach Boys to the Eagles to the Commodores to Michael Jackson. I mean, hey, everything. We were talking about that earlier, Mike. Jerry says it was called Roosters. Kenny's chicken stand, doesn't it? I don't think so. I remember seeing one. Hey, cheers, everybody. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Michael Elliott. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to an impromptu coffee and vinyl, remembering Kenny Rogers. I appreciate it a bunch. Enjoy your coffee today. Get out there and get some fresh air. Don't go make coffee yourself, and be kind to people. Think about seniors. Think about elderly. If you can go to their house and drop off a bag of goodies and press the doorbell and run. You can leave a note. They're really cautious. They're really scared. So there you go. Anything at all will be helpful for them, even if it's just, I think in a Kenny Rogers record or something like that. So I'm going to run, folks. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what I'm doing today online. I got to post more things on eBay. I got to put more things on Instagram, social networking, Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that. And yeah, this is so true, Gary. I knew little about Kenny just because I had there was so much to know. Yeah, and I've learned stuff too. Good to see you, Gary. Next time you're free, come and hang out with me here. And yeah, so I'm not sure as far as going live on YouTube today or tonight. I'm hoping to get on here tonight and just have a general music discussion. It's been a long time because I've been focused so much on trying to keep the doors open and trying to keep food on the table since my sales have gone down to 90%. There you go, folks. But thank you so much. Thank you, Kenny, for the tunes. And everybody rock and roll and have a good day. And stay safe. Let us know how we all can help each other. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good Saturday.